Hey there, it's Lacy J from Space Bear Media, the makers of Lost in My 40s. Did you know that you can go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, including our weekly video pre-shows, where your hosts ponder ethical questions related to the week's episode and answer some fun questions just for, well, fun. Speaking of fun, if you have it thanks to our content, please consider rating or reviewing Lost in My 40s on your favorite app, or recommend us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s, Season 2, Episode 10, the 23rd Psalm. It's finally everybody's favorite, Mr. Echo. And Christy's going to give that to us. I know, I love this episode. But first, Benjamin, what's up with our power rankings?
Let's see. Well, as of last week, Mr. Echo, our pro tag, is far and away in the lead, 85 points.
Jesus.
His closest competitor is Kate with 39. And
that's crazy.
Dr. Braun's 3 points behind with 36. The bottom of the barrel is still mostly populated by extras and auxiliary characters. We got Randy Douchebag Nations in last. Behind him, Mr. Cooper in second to last. And we have a two-way tie between Ana Lucia and Susan for third.
All right.
Is that the new one? I think we have to come up with a new sound, though. If you're going to come up with a sound for Ana Lucia, it's got to be something, I don't know, like, something.
With Christy in mind, like, why don't we just make it like, okay, so FYI to the listeners, it was a week ago for you guys, but it's been 5 minutes between episodes for us, so I am back with my Bloody Mary.
And I have a second Bloody Mary. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if you listened to the episode 2 weeks ago, you know where this is going.
Oh, yeah. Off the rails.
Off the fucking rails.
Yeah, well, wait for next week, because we're doing episode 11 today, too.
Right?
Yeah. Derek, I think it's up to you and me to keep this anchored.
Yeah.
All righty. Christy, take us down Mr. Echo's backstory.
I am so excited about this episode. So it starts in a flashback, and we're in an African village. Children are playing soccer. There's like an open market. One of the kids scores a goal, and everybody cheers. And just then, a white pickup truck filled with men with guns pulls up. They all jump out of the truck. Yeah.
Did you say Antifa?
Yeah, it's very likely Antifa.
That's what Fox News would say.
They are the ultimate instigators.
I've got sources.
Holy shit, that's great.
Shit.
All right, where was I? So
they get out of the truck and say, "Get the children."
They yell out, "Get the children."
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop us again here for 1 second, but this is an unfortunate side effect of gangs and gang culture in African countries, and then also some, I think, like South American, Central American. And that's what they do. They just kidnap children and they force them into a life of fucking crime and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking sad that people just don't have a chance. That's why we see a lot of the migrants at our border, is they're escaping that kind of gang culture.
Well, and then the girls are taken and they're raped and forced into child marriages and...
Yep. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's terrible. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so...
starting on a down note.
Starting on a down note?
Right.
Yeah, depressing.
Seriously.
Right. Okay, so a small boy runs over to a much larger boy and hides behind him. The large boy puts his arm around the smaller one, and the armed men are starting to round people up. They throw one old man to the ground, and then one of them grabs the small boy, pulls him away from the larger one, and hands him a gun, and demands that he shoots the old man.
Jeez.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, I mean, this little boy looks like he's maybe 7.
Yeah.
And he's got this gun in his hand that he doesn't really know what to do with, and he starts crying. So then the larger boy runs over.
Which, by the way, is this not the best casting? Like they
Oh, yeah,
found
he
like a
looks-
giant,
they did
like
well.
oaf of a kid.
Yeah.
That it's like obviously, yes, that's Echo.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean,
exactly what he looked like.
His skin tone is a little bit different, but the like structure of his face and everything, it's pretty dead on.
Yeah, his face and just his size, just that he's like a
Yeah.
massive child.
Yeah.
I will say Echo's eyes are a lighter brown. He has these really,
Yeah.
really beautiful
He does.
eyes.
He does everything about his eyes. That like the color, it's a unique brown, but he's got beautiful eyelashes too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hot. I need to check. Did I fuck him at the end? I might need to change that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I checked. Anyways, sorry. Kidnapping
Gotta keep our-
kids with guns.
Priorities are important.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, the larger kid who we've now determined is Echo. He runs over, he grabs the gun from the little boy, and without even thinking, or it's just very quick, he shoots the old man in the head.
Man.
Villagers were crying, and the man who handed the gun to the kid, he grabs it back and he asks the larger boy what his name is, and he says Echo, and the man says, "Look at Mr. Echo. No hesitation, a born killer." Echo has a cross around his neck on a chain, and he rips the chain off. He's like, "You don't need this anymore." And he grabs Echo and forces him into the truck. And the little boy picks up the necklace and watches the truck drive away with what is clearly his older brother.
Right. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish when the guy asked him what his name was, he just said Echo, Echo, Echo.
Yeah. That would have been good.
Oh, fuck.
All right,
I feel
day
like in this
50.
scene,
Go ahead.
it's tough. Like it's tough to watch this kid just kind of grab a gun and blow somebody away. But I can relate. I can relate to the older sibling
Yeah.
kind of thing.
He's protecting his brother.
You, the three of you have no idea what I'm talking
No,
about.
I have no clue. No, but I can understand the concept.
Right, Derek, you're a middle child. Ben's the youngest. Or you're an only child. Ben's the
Only
youngest.
child.
Christy's the middle. I'm the oldest. And I can understand that. Like I had my father, my biological father was very emotionally and verbally abusive to the kids. And I used to step in the middle of it, like, because I was the oldest. And so I would just kind of take the brunt of it. So I can understand what he was doing. Not that he really was a cold-blooded killer at the age of 9 or 10 or whatever it is, but that it was going to be he or his brother, and he made the decision that
Yep.
it was going to be him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a protective older brother.
Yeah.
The situation fucking sucks, but
Right.
he's an incredible older brother to have taken care of his baby brother that way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are on day 50 on the island, and Echo is carving in the end of his club
Ouch.
or tree weapon. as
Did you say
Derek would
ouch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
meant his pee-pee.
Yeah. I don't ever want to carve the end of my club. That sounds awful.
Oh my god!
Don't.
No Prince Albert jewelry for you?
Yeah.
No, please.
Though
well,
I
the
guess
jewelry's not
circumcision.
carving.
Circumcision is carving the end of your club.
Yeah, it
I
is.
guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
we don't remember that.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the Prince Albert,
I know you do.
I know you do.
Mm.
and that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so Echo is carving the end of his Jesus stick.
That is
Claire's
what Charlie calls
holding-
it, right? Is Jesus
Yeah,
stick?
a little bit
Yeah,
later on. So sorry, I gave that away. Right. So Claire's holding Aaron. He is this very fat little baby. Apparently, she's very good at the whole breastfeeding thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, did you notice that? Aaron went. It's like he's like twice the size. Big
Yeah,
old fat
he's
baby.
That baby. And then, they discuss Aaron, the brother of Moses, who spoke for Moses when he couldn't. Claire has on fucking makeup.
Why couldn't a question?
Did you guys notice how she looks
she
like
really
she's
made
got
up?
on makeup?
I guess it's only been 50 days. They might still have makeup.
Maybe. I mean,
Especially
it's
now
kind
that
of
Shannon's
peachy.
dead. She took off Shannon's makeup.
Took Shannon's makeup.
Oh gosh.
Why couldn't Moses speak? I don't know. I said his brother spoke from when he couldn't.
They tell the story, but I forgot what it was because I forget things.
Obviously, so it's like an echo thing, right? He didn't speak, so maybe that's the same thing. I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe.
Huh. All right, so Claire tells Echo that he should talk to Charlie because Charlie is also religious. And then she mentions the statue of the Virgin Mary that Charlie carries around. Echo, triggers him.
Oh, the look on his face is like, excuse me?
Yeah, and he's like, can I see the statue? And then he demands to know where it was found. And she's like, I don't know. Charlie found it in the jungle. And he's like, where? She insists it's just a statue. So Echo puts it on this little table that has been crafted in Claire's tent area. And he hits it with his club and he just smashes it to pieces and shows her the heroin.
It's a little dramatic. He could have just broken it with like something lightly. Like he really just like he was trying to break her furniture. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's like the moment with Anna Lucia when she picks up the blade and walks over to cut Saeed. It's like okay. We got it. It's dramatic.
Yeah. So he shows her the heroin and he's like, where is Charlie? And Claire also looks pretty fucking pissed off in this moment because she knows that Charlie's a drug addict.
Right.
And then we get the lost title screen. So once that's over, we get Locke is in the gun vault and he's taking apart the lock to the vault.
There's got to be some symbolism there.
Locks, taking apart the lock.
Dismantling the lock.
Yeah. So Michael's there and he's explaining to Michael it's better to change the combination to something that only a few people will know. And then Locke is like, I guess you're here looking for a gun. And Michael just
Locke
kind of
was a
stares at him.
locksmith.
Well, Locke is everything, right? He's like MacGyver.
Yeah.
Can I just stop for a second and praise Michael's hair? He's got like a little mini fro going on, and I fucking love it.
It does look good. I like him with
love
that
it. Love
hair.
the hairstyle.
So now we're on the beach, and Charlie is fishing with Jin, but he's also singing rather loudly. And he asked Jin if he likes the Kinks, and Jin clearly doesn't understand what the fuck Charlie is saying. So Charlie keeps singing, and Jin is pointing towards the ocean. He seems to be saying, "Shut up, you're scaring the fish." But Charlie says, well, thank you very much, Jin. I do have a beautiful voice.
You all everybody.
You all everybody.
I will not allow this to keep happening.
It's going to keep happening for the longevity of the show, Ben. You're going to have to just get used to it.
I just will not partake.
And you're going to need to calm down just a bit because we're only 2 episodes away from the ultimate You All Everybody episode.
Right?
So.
Well, then I guess I'm just trying to give it a rest before it becomes so omnipresent.
All right.
I think it's been a while since we started
It's been a few
singing.
episodes since
Yeah, I know. I was enjoying it too.
Oh my God.
All right, so Charlie is thanking Jin, saying, I have a beautiful voice. And then they see Mr. Echo marching towards them.
That's some scary shit.
Before we get to this terrifying scene where Charlie probably shits himself, I've got to wonder, why is he wearing shoes and jeans in the water?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid.
Just salt water is not good, right? It's very, very destructive to fabrics and things like that. They don't have a cobbler. They're playing with fucking fire here. They are playing with fire.
Well, yeah, and you can't just like walk around in wet tennis shoes and socks. That's
man,
a good way to get some.
You get trench foot.
Yeah. Also, yes, if I saw Echo marching at me in the way that he's marching at Charlie in this scene, I would absolutely piss myself. That is some scary shit.
He's got that giant tree weapon in his hand, and Echo can be terrifying.
And he's massive.
Yes. Yeah. So anyhow, Echo marches up. He shows Charlie the head of the Virgin Mary, and he says, "Where did you find this?" Charlie's like, "Well, in the jungle." And Echo's like, "Take me there." Charlie says, "Sure. We'll go on a hike in the morning." And Echo's like, "No, now." Charlie agrees because I think that Charlie realizes that he doesn't really have a choice here. And he's like, well, I need to talk to Claire first. And Echo says, tell her on the way. And he's like, Charlie says, I don't want her to get the wrong idea. So we're in flashback number 2.
Okay, stop. Just one sec. I looked it up, Ben. He's actually shorter than you are by 1 inch. He's just
Echo
broader. Yeah, he's 6'2". And he's just, I think, broader than you are.
He's just big. Yeah.
Yeah.
His chest is measure from shoulder to shoulder, also 6'2".
Yeah,
I'm
seriously.
6'2" in height and 6'2" in girth around my belly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you just take Echo's chest, move it down 8 inches.
Move it down,
There's. Oh, fuck.
Like twins.
Oh, my God. All right, flashback number 2.
Yeah. So Echo is an adult now, and he and a bunch of other guys get out of a car and look around. Echo is a fashionista. He's got this very long vest on.
Yes. This is what I have in my notes. I said Echo's sleeveless knee-length leather jacket. Oh, my fucking God.
Yeah, and he's got the cornrows, and his eyes are just gorgeous, and he looks amazing.
God,
in this
I would let
scene.
him slit my throat any day.
Oh my God!
Oh, wow. I mean, maybe throat your slit, but jeez.
Yeah, that would be way
I think
better.
that's what you meant.
Yeah, he just.
Shit.
Can you imagine? You just put your throat up to it and go, Gonna try that.
Throat
You're a nice
my
Hummer.
slit.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
yeah,
give her a
check out
Hummer.
Space Bear Media on Pornhub. We will be throating my slit later.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Inside the building, they sit down at a table, and there are 2 other men there. These 2 other men present Echo with a package of heroin. Echo cuts it open, tastes it, and he goes, I will give you 50. And the man is like, 50 what? He clearly seems upset at the low offer. And Echo has figured out that these people are stuck. There's no market in Nigeria for these drugs, and there's no way to smuggle it out. So Echo is like, I will give you 50 for the favor I am doing you.
Isn't that great how he frames that? Like, I'm doing you a favor. Yeah, he tries to
Very,
hold that
very,
shit on his
very
brother
mafia.
later. Yeah, yes, it is very mafia. Yeah.
He's really good at manipulation, but he has had to be.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he was forced into this life. Yeah.
Yeah. So the man who is selling him the heroin says, so it's true, you have no soul. Echo kind of smiles, and in less than a second, he pulls his knife out and slits 2 men's throats with one quick swipe.
Fucking badass.
Yeah. And
What a
there's this
badass scene.
Yeah. And there's this boy who has walked into the room with a tray of drinks, and he drops the bottle of whatever it was that he was
with those
in.
2 guys because they sent him to get those drinks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, Echo looks at him. The other men are ready to shoot this person. And Echo looks at him and he's like, I'm going to let you live. And I want you to tell people that I let you live. So tell them,
He does,
Mr.
and then
Echo
he
let you
refers-
live.
Yeah, I was going to say he refers to himself in the third person. Mr. Echo, let you live. It's like, holy fuck.
All right, so we're on the beach. Claire is cleaning up the broken statue and the heroin, and Charlie and Echo approach. Claire is clearly very pissed. She throws the heroin at Charlie. He tries to lie. He's like, I didn't know what was inside. And she's not buying his shit. And he insists that he's not using. And then he grabs the bags of heroin and dumps them into the sand.
Again, we're wasting fucking drugs. You guys are
Yeah.
trapped on an
right?
island. This is medicine. If you're in pain,
Not to mention Vincent comes sniffing around and
Oh my God.
that's a good point. Yikes.
Oh, poor, yeah.
yeah.
That's terrible.
Jesus, Charlie, you fucking killed the dog.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
So now we're in the jungle.
Shannon would have been around. She would have killed it anyway.
Oh my God.
Eventually, if it didn't kill itself.
Yeah.
Christy's mad now. We're ragging on
you-
Shannon. She's mad.
You guys are allowed to rag on Shannon. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm just not going to join in.
Oh my God.
Good for you. Good for you.
All right. So in the jungle, there's this huge thing of Dharma Initiative ranch dressing sitting on the log, and Michael is pointing a rifle at it, and Locke is kind of supervising. Locke is giving him instructions, like let your breath halfway out and then pull the trigger. And Michael's like, where did you learn on this? And he says, my dad used to take me hunting, mostly for birds. Yeah. So that moment is kind of.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So they kind of discuss Michael and the possibility of him running off again and how it's a bad idea. Michael's like, yeah, it's a bad idea, whatever. And then Locke puts a live round in the gun and he's like, okay, let's try it for real. And then Michael shoots and the ranch dressing explodes.
Okay, but can you not? Okay, because they're going to regret that. Because when they run out of other food, ranch is going to taste good as fuck on some jungle leaves. Okay,
even if it's 20-year-old ranch, 30-year-old ranch.
I'm going to make a jungle salad and I'm going to eat it with ranch.
Yeah, I wrote 2 notes on here. Number 1, I love that Michael and Locke are bonding.
Yeah, I like that too.
But I hate that they destroyed perfectly good ranch dressing.
It's so stupid.
Those are the 2 notes that I wrote.
I believe they destroyed Ranch Composite was the name of it.
Yeah, it did say composite on there. I remember
did
that.
It? So bad.
Still would taste good on some jungle leaves. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, unless Sun is raising celery or hot wings or, things like that.
In her garden?
She's
growing hot wings?
Hot wing seeds. You heard
the
about
hot wing garden
there's hot wing
is
seeds,
over.
there's hot wing vines, there's hot wing trees. We all know this.
Well, there are chickens on the island. We saw it
right. We
on
did
the
see
Pier
that.
48.
Yeah.
I imagine the chicken wing garden is right next to the torch farm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to make some wings now.
Good call.
So guys, check in next week, episode 11. Christy will be eating wings.
All right, so now we're in a different part of the jungle, and Charlie and Echo are walking around. Charlie's bitching about how Echo got him in trouble with Claire. And Charlie stops, and he's like, well, this is where I found it. And Echo's like, this bullshit. No. He grabs him by the throat and calls Charlie a lawyer. A lawyer.
You're a lawyer. Oh, no.
I just put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
And makes no difference.
Right.
Yeah.
So he calls him a liar and he says, take me to the plane. And then Charlie is clearly blown away. He wants to know how Echo knew about the plane. And then Echo says, why did you lie to the girl? And he points out that he knows Charlie was aware of the heroin in the statue, but he had lied to Claire. And Charlie's like, what are you talking about? I didn't lie. And he says, well, then what's the wrong idea? You said you didn't want Claire to get the wrong idea. And then Charlie gets real defiant. He's like, I don't have to tell you anything. He's such a fucking kid in this moment.
He is
so entitled and rotten.
He's so often that way. That's why I can't stand him.
Yeah. This is. Yeah, I love Charlie in this episode.
Yeah, he's going the other direction on me.
Really? He's a little pissant.
I'm a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, beware of when you start to love him then, because it might mean he's going to die.
Well, I think by next episode I do.
That's how the show rolls.
Is a Charlie episode,
it's not
isn't
like
it?
this is written by George R.R. Martin,
Right?
Yeah.
No, but I just mean, like Boone lets go of Shannon. He dies. Shannon starts to let go of her past. She dies. And so, but I love Charlie. He's always been one of my favorite characters. But agreed, he's a little bit of a pissant in this episode.
He's a pissant.
Yes.
He's often a pissant.
I think he's in my worst characters, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, me too. So anyway, Charlie's yelling at Echo, and Echo sees behind Charlie, there's a puff of black smoke that kind of like stops and then flies past them. And you can kind of hear a little bit of the sound. Echo sees it. Charlie doesn't. He doesn't say anything to Charlie, but he's just like, we got to go. Let's keep moving. Let's go.
Let's get the fuck out of here, because what the fuck was that?
GTFO. Get the fuck out. So flashback number 3, Echo is back in the village that he was taken from, and there's a woman selling the Virgin Mary statues to raise money for polio vaccines. A priest comes out of the church and he asks Echo why he's here. And Echo says, I've come to give my confession. The priest laughs and he says, hello, Echo. And Echo says, hello, brother.
Ah.
Right. So they walk into the church. This is the first time they've seen each other in 3 years. And Echo's brother says that, I know what you have become. I know what sins you've committed.
He says something about, I may not leave our village or whatever, but I still hear about the stories about you. So it sounds like Echo's become a fairly well-known warlord, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's legends about him is what it sounds like.
Absolutely, which is why he told the boy, tell them that Mr. Echo
Tell
let
them
you
Mr.
live.
Echo. Right.
But, they haven't seen each other in years, and his brother refuses to take his confession.
Can a priest do that?
I didn't think they could.
I didn't think they could either. Well, you're the one that comes from a Catholic family, Christy. You don't know?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know about that. I would think that they would not be able to.
That's sort of, isn't that the point of a priest? Is to take confessions? Like, how can you refuse? I don't know. Anyways.
I guess confessions have to be consensual.
Oh, yeah, because that's what priests know about is consent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The rectory.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's great.
It's not, though. It's not great. It's sad.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so his brother refuses to hear his confession, and then Echo reaches into his brother's shirt and he pulls out the cross, and he asks if what happened that day was a sin. Echo tells his brother that he needs to use the church plane to leave the country to move merchandise. Apparently, there's rules as to who can actually leave the country.
And did we even say that this is Nigeria? We kind of know because we know that the plane came from there and things like that. But yeah, it was something about how the because of the political situation, I guess, in Nigeria at this time, they couldn't get flights out of the country.
It was only UN.
And UN and churches or whatever. Yeah.
Missionary. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Good position.
Yeah. So his brother is not having it. He's like, you're a drug dealer. And he's like, no, I'm moving the drugs out of Nigeria so that our people won't be using them. And his brother, would then have money for the vaccines if he allows him to do this. But the priest refuses to help Echo.
And Echo he kind of pulls the same thing with his brother and tells him, like, what he did with the drug dealers, I'm doing you a favor because there's no market. But then when he's with his brother, it's I'm doing Nigeria a favor because our people won't use the drugs. And I'm doing you a favor because you're going to have money for the vaccines. It's all he just kind of directs everything outward. Like he's not doing anything wrong. He's just doing favors. That's it. He's just doing favors for people.
He's very manipulative and he's very good at justifying things.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that kind of the theme of this whole episode is that there is a gray area.
Yeah, and
because we've had a lot of the black and white of the island and of just morals and whatever. So I think that this episode focuses on the gray area in between the black and the white.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like what he says to his brother, if we back up just a few seconds, about was what I did that day. a sin, and he says something like, was it a sin or was it okay because you were the one who was saved?
Yes.
In that day. And so, yeah, it definitely brings up those themes where it's like, guys, life is complicated. Situations are complicated. I'm not always the good guy or I'm not always the bad guy. It's like sometimes I'm both.
Yeah. What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Deep.
You're welcome.
He's quoting.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So deep, I put the rectory to sleep.
I always have to put my rectory to sleep after a game of 3-hole.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God.
You should put it to sleep before.
You're right.
Yeah,
It makes it easier.
All right.
Fuck. Christy.
Yes.
All right. So we are back on the beach and Kate is giving Sawyer a haircut.
I love this scene.
Yeah. Sawyer is being Sawyer. And she's like, you don't need to be so defensive, basically, is her point. Yeah. She's like, now everybody loves you because he had been on the raft to try and go.
Well, everybody knows he took a bullet trying to save Walt.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a turnaround, right? As far as the impression of Sawyer for those on the beach. She's not wrong. Yeah.
And he says, bullpucky.
Yeah, he does.
Bullpucky.
He's really having to stretch now.
Yeah. I had a note. I'm like, really? That's what Sawyer's going to say here? I don't think so.
Yeah, but this was on ABC. Like, what could he say?
So, he can say bullshit.
I mean, they could have thought of anything better than bullpucky.
Yes, I agree.
Know. Every once in a while, I think, wouldn't Lost have been great on HBO? We'd have gotten all those Kate, Jack, Sawyer sex scenes.
Ooh,
I mean,
Kate,
he could have just said, whatever.
And I think this came up last week, but HBO is where I got to see Echo's penis.
Yes.
Oh boy!
So since that was really last night for us,
yeah, right. We recorded that
time
last
2 episodes ago.
To Google Echo's penis. Find it like what HBO Oz episode does Echo's penis come out in? I'm probably going to look that up. You keep going.
I mean, for science,
Yeah, right.
All right. So Kate's saying, everybody loves you. Sawyer says bullpucky. And just then Hurley walks up and he says to Sawyer, I'm glad you're back. And then Sawyer calls him Pillsbury because he can't just not be a dick.
He can't not be a dick. And really, Pillsbury wouldn't fly. Wouldn't fly. You wouldn't see that. I don't think you'd see that on TV today. I don't think it would just be recognized as the fat shaming that it is. And you wouldn't see that.
I don't watch TV, so.
Well, I guess. You mean network TV you don't watch.
Yeah, because it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Bullpucky.
It is.
Yeah, bullpucky. All right.
So now Michael walks up and he's like, do you have a shift coming up in the hatch? I'll take your shift. I just need to keep my mind off things. And she's like, okay, sure.
Nothing fishy there.
No, not at all.
Sawyer looks kind of stunned when Michael says to him that he's glad that Sawyer's okay. It was a nice moment, with Michael saying, Sawyer, I'm glad you're okay. So.
Yeah, I thought it was sweet. Yeah.
Especially after previous interactions.
Michael and Sawyer, they have this, it's like they both really want to be friends and they want to be close, but they don't know how to do it. Right? Like I know like the two of them, their relationship, the way that it's functioned and they keep getting into these little fights and it's like they don't want to express to each other that they actually really care about each other.
Bromance.
Yeah.
Exactly, bromance. But to see Michael kind of, say that in that moment, it's like, okay, well, maybe you don't have to be such toxic males and you can actually be nice to each other. But anyway.
It's been interesting just watching Michael's growth in general because, his relationship with Sawyer, his relationship with Jin, is pretty incredible. So,
agreed.
Yeah, after them wailing on each other, almost killing each other.
Yeah. So watching Michael's evolution and his relationships has been good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes. So, so Kate is like, sure, you can have my shift. And Sawyer looks a little stunned when, he realizes that Michael is being sincere about being glad that Sawyer's okay. Kate laughs and Sawyer's like, don't even say nothing. So
it's a really cute scene. I love the whole thing. All of it.
Yes. And Kate is apparently also an accomplished barber.
Hairstylist.
Hairstylist, yeah.
Yeah, she does a nice
Apparently.
job with his haircut. All right, so now we're back with Charlie and Echo. They're taking a quick break for some water. And Charlie tells Echo that it was his brother Liam's fault that he's a drug addict. He's like, I'm a good person. I was an altar boy. Which, I'm sorry,
And you're
Charlie.
a priest, so here we go.
Sorry that you were an altar boy.
He does immediately feel the need to defend himself in this situation, though.
I'm kind of bummed at the way that you just presented that, because in the scene, Charlie and Echo are going, and Charlie says, "Hey, I want to stop," and Echo says, "We just took a break." And when I was watching it, I said, "We've had one, yes, but what about second break?"
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Charlie finally admits that he knew what was in the statue, but he's like, just because I knew that it was there doesn't mean that I needed it. Charlie's really, really whiny and needy here, and it is not becoming.
No,
it's not.
Yeah, so then Echo sees something hanging from a tree, and they realize that it's a parachute, and they find the body of a priest on the ground. Echo rips open the shirt on the priest, but he doesn't find anything. And at this point, you know that he's looking for the necklace
That
with
cross,
the cross that
Right,
his brother
yeah.
was wearing.
Yeah.
And then he checks the skull, and he finds a gold tooth in the skull. And Charlie is kind of astute here. He's like, "Do you know that guy?" And Echo's like, "Yes, this man saved my life."
I guess astute. You can. You could tell, because I feel like, yes, as any human, you come across a dead body, you're going to have some sort of emotional reaction to it. But the intensity of the emotion in Mr. Echo while he's doing that, I guess, makes it seem obvious. What, like, oh fuck, do you actually know him?
The fact that Echo knows there's a plane should kind of clue you in that he's got some idea what the fuck's going on.
Okay.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so he says, "Yes, I know this man. He saved my life." And then Echo starts praying over the body. And Charlie's like, "None of this makes any sense at all." And then he picks up Echo's club, and he finds the scripture on it. And he asks Echo if he is a priest.
To which Echo replies, "I'm just a thug for Jesus."
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
He goes, "Yes, I'm a priest, and you're an altar boys."
Oh!
And nobody can hear you scream.
Yes, and I got the club, baby.
No, my God.
Jungle Boogie. Get it on.
No.
Moving right along.
Oh my God.
Flashback
Anywho.
number 4. Yeah.
Anywho. Yeah, see, I wouldn't have to say that so many fucking times if you three wouldn't go off the goddamn rails.
Oh, it's
Just
us
kidding. Go on the
going
rails.
off
You
Just
the
kidding.
never go off
No,
the
just-
rails.
No, yeah.
Never.
Pot kettle black.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, babe.
Got any special occasions coming up that you need a card for?
Is this a trick question?
No, it's an advertisement.
Is this about barbcards.com again?
Bingo.
So I suppose you're going to remind me that each handmade card is only $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't come with busy backgrounds or flowery poetry.
You got it. Barbcards.com offers to-the-point communication within several different categories, including our favorite, potty mouth. And if you can't find what you want, barbcards.com can do customizations.
Can I still get all of my cards for no more than $4 shipping, no matter the size of the order?
You know it. Barbcards.com has got all you need. Hey, Ben.
Oh my God, what are we selling now?
Merch.
Our merch?
Yes, sir. Shirts, coffee mugs, wine tumblers, bottle openers, stickers, magnets, and more. Your choice of product and your choice of Space Bear Media graphic from any of our podcasts.
Please tell me we're not making merch now, too.
Of course not. We'll stick to podcasts, and Pixis products will do the rest.
Thank God. I bet you have more to say, though.
Sure do. Pixis Products is a small business run by a local mom, well, local to us anyway, who needed something else to do besides being a snack bitch.
What?
A snack bitch, also known as a mom with a young child.
There's still more, isn't there?
Yepers! Pixis Products works with other small businesses for supplies, art, and other collaborations at every opportunity, including ours. In fact, Pixis Products even gave Space Bear Media our own storefront on their site. You can find us at shopspacebear.com.
Say what?
You heard me. Go to shopspacebear.com and buy something.
Okay, so flashback number 4. Echo and 2 other men barge into his brother's church, and they interrupt him while he's taking a confession. And Echo tells his brother that he has to sign these documents that are going to make them priests. That way they can fly the drugs out themselves, and they will give
So it's that
money
easy to
for
be
the
a priest?
vaccines. Not really.
I don't really
but
know how you become a priest.
You have to
I
go
go
through
to seminary school.
Yeah.
See, Seaman Seminary. Look at all those references.
I know.
Oh, boy.
Seminary, rectory.
Side note,
Yeah.
my grandfather was in seminary when he met my grandmother. So she
Really?
might have been
Was she
a
trying? Was
trollop.
was she in the nunnery or something?
No,
Second
she-
side note, I found a GIF of Mr. Echo whipping his dick out on HBO's Oz, and I
thank
put
you
it.
for warning me.
I
Thank
put
you.
it in our chat.
Yeah, I saw the notification. I'm glad you said something before I clicked it.
So
Give me a second,
there
I'm
is Echo
clicking it.
Penis. He's like, wait a
I'm probably
second.
like 1/4 the man he is.
Oh my god! Look at Christy.
All right.
She cannot go on with the.
Yeah, look at her,
Look at
yeah.
her face.
Oh my god,
All right, let me move forward.
her eyes just got
Where
big.
are we? All right. Echo warns his brother, and now we learn that his brother's name is Yemi. He's like, I'm not going to hurt you, but these 2 other guys, they're going to burn down your church if you don't fucking sign this.
Yeah.
Yemi is shaking with anger, but he signs the papers. And Yemi says, just because I'm signing this does not make you a priest.
Right.
Echo throws money down for the remaining statues. And he says, well, I guess we're both sinners now. And Yemi says, yes, but God will forgive me.
Whoa,
Ouch.
woo, woo.
Woohoo!
Ouch. Did you also notice how the confession in this church? It was like 2 wooden kind of booths next to each other, but they were They were covered with a curtain. What kind of fucking privacy is that? Like, how
Isn't
do
that
you
what it
talk-
normally is? A curtain?
Yeah.
I hope it was a
I think it is.
door. Really? Well, I guess
It
that's how
might
much
be
time.
a door, but there's a door with, it's open so that air can get through, like almost like rattan.
Okay, but
I guess someone farts in there, boy.
oh my god.
Oh my God.
Holy hot
Forgive me
box,
for
Batman.
Father, for I have farted.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
Moving along. Echo and Charlie are walking through the jungle again. And then Charlie finally realizes, he can't find the plane, and he admits it to Echo. So Echo tells Charlie to climb a tree. And Charlie is like,
No.
he's like, are you going to beat me with your Jesus stick if I don't?
So It's a sort of a ridiculous request, though, because you climb up in the tree, and like a lot of this is just kind of canopy forest where they are. So you climb up in the tree, all you're going to see is the trees.
Yeah,
right, more trees.
And if you get up really, really high, you're just going to see more trees.
See the canopy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and if you're just below that, you're not going to see shit. So it seemed kind of weird that getting up in a tree was going to help. I mean, it's not fucking tree beard. It's not like they're walking by Isengard or something.
Also, I also kind of lost it when he's climbing up the tree and Echo is like, "No, you need to get higher." I was like,
I would have, asshole.
Give me my statue, asshole.
Yeah, I'm trying.
All right, so yeah, Echo is. Charlie says, if I don't climb the tree, are you going to beat me with your Jesus stick? And then Echo just kind of stares at him, and finally Charlie just throws his bag down and he starts climbing the tree. Because I don't know, if Echo was looking at me that way, I would climb the tree.
Let him slit my throat.
Is that a double entendre?
He'd be climbing his tree.
Yeah.
Yes and yes. And Charlie's like, what kind of priest are you anyway? As he's climbing the tree. And then there's an explosion and you hear the roller coaster sounds. And Charlie is up in the tree and he's screaming at Echo to run. But Echo does not run. He stays still. This giant cloud of black smoke approaches his face. The monster makes monster noise.
We finally get to see the monster.
Yeah.
Finally.
But it's just black smoke. But the black smoke appears to be looking at Echo. Echo is staring right back at it.
It does kind of take like a life of its own, where it sort of seems like like the abyss. In the
I
abyss.
was just going to say the water in the abyss.
The water in the abyss, where it's like it's still just this lump of water or puff of smoke or whatever, but it seems to take on a personality and almost have a head and kind of look from side to side. You know what I mean? Like cocks its head side to side and seems interested.
Saw it was flashing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you notice that? So there's some
lightning inside.
Well, what the flashing is, if you pause it, it's pictures, faces from Echo's past.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you pause it, you'll see faces.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you for saying that, because I've never noticed that before.
I saw that too.
I figured there was a reason for it, so I was like, I'll pause this, and there you can see faces.
I've never paused it to see who it was and that it was somebody in his past, but I could tell that there were faces and sort of assumed it was showing him something from, or that is relevant to his life, I guess. And which makes me wonder, what did Locke see? Because he came face to face. Remember, we had a different view. You didn't see the smoke, but you saw the look on Locke's face, and then he said it was beautiful. So now I kind of wonder, like, okay, well, what did the smoke show Locke in that moment, right? Maybe, yeah.
That's just the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, so Echo's staring right back at the smoke. The flashes of light are apparently, people. And the monster backs away from Echo slowly and then just kind of disappears into the jungle. Very much like the way the water in the abyss pulled backwards and went down into the pool and back out into the ocean. Right. That was exactly exactly what I was going to compare it to was the abyss. So I'm glad that you said that. So now Charlie is jumping down from the tree and he's like, why didn't you run? And Echo says, 'cause he wasn't scared. And then he wants to know if Charlie saw the plane while he was up in the tree. And Charlie's like, yeah, it's about 1 kilometer that way. And Echo just kind of takes off.
It's about 5 kilometers inland.
5 kilometers inland.
Now we're back in the hatch and Michael is looking around to see if anybody's there.
Once again, Locke, great system, buddy.
I know, because the hatch is empty. Nobody there.
Nobody there.
He does say later that Hurley is late, I guess. So that kind of covers that, but still, come on.
Yeah.
I would kind of guess that he also asked Hurley for his shift. I don't know. He didn't want anybody there.
Yeah.
That's true. That would be, They should have a handoff system, though. Like, you can't leave until somebody else shows up.
Until someone's there,
Pass the baton,
Yep.
Anywho.
So he goes to the computer and he tries to type, but the computer won't let him. And then Dad, ? Appears on the screen. Michael asks if Walt is alone and if he's okay. And Walt says he's okay, but I can't talk long because they're coming back. Michael asks where Walt is, and the typing on the screen says, "You need to come." And then you see the camera kind of focus on Michael's face as he continues reading.
And you can tell that whatever he read makes quite an impact on him just by the look on his face.
Absolutely.
I wonder in this scene though. Okay, so if we go back to 48 days, I always want to say 48 days later, like 28 days later, the fucking zombie movie. But the other 48 days, when the backenders get the radio on and they actually hear Boone, but we all agree that in that moment, Ana Lucia is correct to say, no, this is a ruse. They're trying to kind of like draw us out. And I just don't understand how this doesn't cross Michael's mind. Like, we know that the others are out there. They're kidnapping people. Why is it just he's too singularly like focused on getting Walt back that he doesn't consider it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so then Jack walks into the hatch and he sits down next to Michael. And Michael tells Jack that he's by himself because Hurley is late. Because apparently there is a 2-person schedule, even though...
just nobody keeps it.
Nobody there.
Apparently.
Yeah.
They're all on island time.
Right.
Jack tells Michael, we're going to form a search party to go out and get Walt, and we're going to bring him back as soon as we can. And when Jack looks at the computer screen, it's blank.
Damn it.
And then we have a super quick little scene where Echo and Charlie find the plane, and we can hear the sound of airplane engines roaring. And that brings us into flashback number 5. So the plane's engines are roaring. Echo and his men are dressed as priests, and they're loading the statues filled with heroin onto the plane. A van starts approaching them. It stops, and Yemi gets out, saying he's here to stop them. Yemi begs him not to get on the plane, and then the military shows up, and Yemi admits that he called them. So he says he didn't tell them who's involved. And he's like, Echo, you can just walk away with me because I didn't tell them that you're here.
I mean, I feel like he devises the most sort of ethical plan to save his brother, where it's like, I'm going to call the military. I'm going to get them out here. We're going to stop these drugs. But I will tell, it's not that I'm lying, right? I'm just going to omit this tiny little bit of information, which will allow my brother a safe harbor. And I feel like for Yemi and his character, that's just about as far as he could possibly go.
Yep.
Right? Instead of letting his brother just go. And he was like, this is as far as I can go, is leaving you a window to come back. Right?
Right.
Yep. So Echo's men start shooting at the military. The military is shooting at Echo's men. A few people get shot.
I love this is one of my favorite things is like one of Echo's guys like shoots and it goes through like the window of the truck or whatever, and the guy in the military truck kind of crashes, and then the guy who did the shooting kind of turns around, kind of like, hey, you want to look what I did, guys? Look what I did. And he takes 2 of them in the chest.
The military truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiot.
It's like if you would have gotten down behind some cover instead of gloating, you might have lived to fight another day, friend.
Right.
Well, and then Yemi jumps out in the middle between the 2 factions that are fucking shooting at each other.
Dumb.
Yeah,
That's
he
not
starts
smart.
waving his hands and screaming for them to stop, and then he takes a few bullets in the chest.
Yummy,
duh,
yummy,
like, you
yummy.
jump-
I got shot in my tummy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He really did. He just he jumped in the middle of gunfire and
Yes.
waved his hands around like nothing was going to
there's
go
a good
wrong.
target to shoot. Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Oh, Yemi.
No
Poor
gun training
naive little
in
Yemi.
the seminary.
So Echo starts screaming because he realizes that his brother Yemi has been shot. They load Yemi onto the plane, and Echo is about to get on the plane, and one of the other men kicks him out kicks him in the chest. And then he closes the door so that he can't get on the plane. The military is shooting at the plane as it takes off, and Echo is left there on the ground. So this is what he meant by this man saved my life.
Yep, because he was not on the plane that he now knows crashed on this crazy fucking island.
Yep. So now we're on the island, and Echo is looking around. He's inside the plane looking around, and that's when he finds his brother's body. He looks for the necklace, and he finds it, and then he starts crying and sobbing, and he's holding this decomposing body to him, which is kind of gross.
To his face. Like, to his face. Like, he brings it up to his shoulder, and he, like, nuzzles it. And, okay,
well, it looks like it's almost mummified, so it probably doesn't reek anymore.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's gross, but I don't know. I've never found somebody I love decomposing in a jungle. Maybe I'd have the same reaction. I have no idea.
I mean, would it mummify in a place that's that moist all the time?
You would think that much moisture. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't. I don't even think it would have that much like
skin
matter left on it. Yeah. I think that stuff would go away.
I would think like the bugs and everything would just clean it.
Yep.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
It's a lot of protein. Oh yeah, the boars too. They if there were boars on the island,
right. They'll eat anything. They'll eat
bones
garbage.
Scattered.
Yeah, the bones would be all over the place. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going into flashback number 6, and the military is coming up to the plane and where Echo is, and they mistake Echo for an actual priest, and he does not deny it.
Yeah, it's an interesting scene because the guy's, he's like, Father, are you okay? And you can see. It's like you can see the look on Echo's face where the thought comes over him, I have a way out. Like, I was kidnapped. I was kidnapped as a child and forced into this insane fucking murderous life, and I have a way out now. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really cool scene.
I sacrificed for my brother. Now my brother sacrificed himself for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And it's like you can see it kind of come over him. Like, if there is any opportunity for me to change my life, this is that moment. And he seems to understand that.
Yeah. He's being given an out.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we're in the jungle again, and Charlie enters the plane, and Echo explains to Charlie that this man is his brother. Charlie looks a little bit confused, but he's like, I'm really sorry for your loss.
And then that was nice of Charlie, because I feel like I would say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he kept it calm and polite.
But I mean, Charlie's already been on the island for 50 days. He realizes that the island is fucking weird. So
I guess that's true. To be surprised at anything that happens on this island by this point seems like a waste of energy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So Echo is kind of looking around the plane, and he sees the gas line, and he pulls it out and pours the gas all over his brother's body. He hands a singular statue to Charlie, and he's like, for the one I broke. So he replaces the broken property.
Yeah, I know.
Why? Don't give that to him.
I agree. However,
Charlie was just a means to an end. He was like, I'm making you whole. You got me to where I wanted. Yep.
I like that he worked to make him whole. So, so then Echo sets the plane on fire, and they watch the plane burn, and Charlie looks at Echo and he says, so you are a priest, aren't you? Echo puts the necklace over his head, and he said, yes, I am. And then he recites the 23rd Psalm, and Charlie joins him before
for the part that everyone knows at the end.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Yeah. I shall fear no evil.
I will fear no evil. That's actually in the middle of the 23rd Psalm, because
it starts with, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Is that your fun fact?
It's our fun fact. We're going to talk about the 23rd Psalm.
Let's get it. I'll wait.
Going back to the bonfire here, there's a couple things. That plane's been there for a while, and it's on its back. Now, most planes carry the wing and the fuel in their wings,
fuel
right?
in their wings, yeah. It would have leaked
out. They do?
So it would have, so it would have leaked out. And
even
also,
in the little planes?
The little Cessnas, I flew those, and you always had to check the fuel level in the wing. wings.
Also, does aviation fuel stay good for long? Because I know that gasoline will eventually, like
6
especially in
months
the cold.
gone, yeah.
Yeah. So
Gas, yeah.
I don't know about
I
this
mean,
because
can
it's
you
basically
really not
like,
even set it on fire after that? Is it no longer good for that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do they use kerosene basically for?
It's 100 octane low lead.
Low lead. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a tiny plane or in all planes?
Yes. No, all planes, jet, like what you fly is Jet A.
Oh, right. Of course, it's jet fuel.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. But the little Cessnas, like the
Yes,
yellow
100
plane.
octane low lead.
Yeah.
So they'd still use leaded gasoline.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And it's blue.
Really?
Really?
They color them so you don't put the wrong fuel in your plane.
Oh, that makes
Good call.
Because they have 80 octane low lead is red, is green, and Jet A is red.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay,
There
cool.
you go.
Fun facts from Derek.
There you go.
All right. So Echo is continuing to recite the 23rd Psalm, and then the scene changes, and we're back on the beach with Ana Lucia, who's making a fire.
Yeah.
So Jin is approaching Ana Lucia, and he's bringing Sun over, and he introduces them, it's really very, very sweet of Jin.
It is. Yeah.
Anna looks surprised, but she's also touched.
I think he's like, hey Anna, here's a fish. You want to be our third?
Oh my God.
Some island thruple.
So
Jesus.
Jin gives Ana Lucia a fish. The 23rd Psalm ends and the happy island music begins. Libby
and it's montage time.
Yeah, exactly. I love the montages. So in the montage, Libby is building herself a shelter, and
Kind of sagging.
She's doing a terrible fucking job. It's terrible.
A question: where do all these tarps come from?
Yes,
I don't know.
know.
Endless
and
supply.
torches.
Tarps,
Yeah.
torches, and wait,
I'm
what
going
were we
to go
talking
off about the torches a couple of episodes
Oh,
from now.
man, I
so-
know.
It's
those-
next
those-
episode.
those look like
I
Oh,
think,
next episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like
All right.
elvish torches. They're so ornate.
Yeah. So, Libby's building a shelter. She's doing a shit job, and Hurley runs over to help her, and they trade these cute little shy smiles.
It is cute.
Yeah. Sawyer's checking himself out in the mirror because Kate gave him a haircut, and Kate's laughing at him. And Jack comes up and gives Sawyer some medicine. And then Charlie returns to where Claire is, and she has got his shit packed.
She is
You know?
like tossing his guitar out the fucking house. Get
What's
out.
that Beyonce song? To the left.
To the left, to the left.
Yep.
Well, he was out there with a priest in the jungle and got his shit packed, and now he comes back here and gets his shit packed.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
It's coming out of his throat.
Oh.
Jesus.
So
Hey, Tone, you see what I did there? You see what I did there?
I do.
How many HBO shows can we mention in this
Seriously.
podcast? All right.
So Charlie tries to apologize to Claire. He's trying to explain that just having it around helps him. And Claire's not having his shit. She's like,
No.
I can't have you around my baby. My baby.
Ouch.
My baby.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah. And he's trying to change her mind, and she's yelling at him, and she's like, I don't want you sleeping anywhere near us. Go away. Aaron's crying, and Charlie finally picks up his bags and tries to roll them through the sand as he walks away.
It should have been like, oh, so all of a sudden you run this fucking island. I'm going to lay right here, and I'm going to do all the heroin in the fucking world.
I'm gonna.
Yep.
That's what I think about
sit
your.
right here and get high next to your baby. Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Call the police, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Anna Lucia is going to come over and shoot him.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, I
because
forgot about that.
You don't want that.
I'm like, good luck finding a fucking cop. Oh, shit, she's right there.
Yeah.
And she's trigger happy.
Yeah, man.
Fuck. Whoops.
All right. So it's nighttime. Charlie's walking through the jungle with a torch. And he pulls some greenery away from a log, and there's a hiding place that he's got. He's got a little hidey hole. And he puts the statue that Echo gave him into the hole, and there are 4 other statues already there.
Are you serious?
Oh, man.
And then we get the lost title screen, end of episode. Dun, dun, dun.
I just read it on your outline. It says Charlie picks up his things and leaves. And when I read that, I read it as Charlie picks up his things and leaves. Like he's picking up his things.
Leaves
He
on
starts
the ground.
grabbing a bunch
and
of
some
leaves.
leaves. No.
Yeah.
You should have written Charlie picks up his things and makes like a tree.
Oh, God.
Make like a tree and leaf.
So, do
Yeah,
we
make like
think...
a tree and get out of here, Biff.
Okay, so quick question. I'm gonna poll you guys. Do we think that Charlie, while Echo wasn't looking, put a lot of statues in his bag, or
No.
has he been going back to that plane and
think he's been
gathering
collecting
them
them.
the whole
Yeah.
I think
time?
he's been
Yeah.
collecting them over time.
Yep,
Absolutely.
second thing.
The second thing. All right. Fun fact.
Psalm 23.
Obviously. Yes, of course. This is a fairly obvious fun fact. We're going to talk about the history of the 23rd Psalm.
Before you get into this, let me just say, I was raised Catholic. I am a recovering Catholic. But I did always like the 23rd Psalm. I found it to be beautiful and comforting.
Yes, and that is the point of the 23rd Psalm, I
But
think.
the Catholics, they don't actually read the Bible, do they?
What are you talking
Because
about?
my mom was Catholic and she didn't know anything about the Bible. They had something called a catechism or something.
The catechism
is a school.
Are a thing. Yeah, you still, Catholics definitely still read the Bible.
Okay.
Well, Catholics
I-
made the Bible. I mean, they're the ones
Yeah.
that compiled it. The Bible came from Catholicism.
Yeah.
And what happened to purgatory? But anyways, I digress.
The 23rd Psalm. The book of Psalms is part of the 3rd section of the Hebrew Bible and a book of the Christian Old Testament, which are, of course, the same thing. In the slightly different numbering system used in the Greek Septuagint and Latin Vulgate translations of the Bible, this psalm is actually the 22nd. More commonly, we know it as the 23rd, but it does appear that way every once in a while. It has often been set to music and has been called the best-known psalm for its universal theme of trust in God. The 23rd psalm is as follows. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table.
I couldn't. At first, I just thinking of somebody going here, just saying it was with a lisp. But the entire beginning, they layeth with me. They push us, and it's just like, oh my god, it sounds like It sounds like fucking Daffy Duck.
All right,
And then
I'll
rod and
finish
staff.
it. Thou prepareth a table before me in the presence of mine
Oh my God.
enemies.
Now I feel like I'm picturing Sylvester.
Exactly.
Fuck a path.
Thou
That's
anointeth
Oh
my
God,
head
you
with
ruined
oil.
my favorite Bible passage, and
Sorry.
I'm like, so
My
I'm not a
cup-
religious person, but I liked this one.
My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
And don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
All right.
Suffering fucking path.
It is beautiful verse. I mean, when it comes down to it, like
Yeah.
it's-
Well, I mean, that's what Psalms, I mean, they're poems. That's what they are. So, a few more facts about the 23rd Psalm. The theme of God as a shepherd was common in ancient Israel and Mesopotamia. For example, King Hammurabi in the conclusion to his famous legal code, wrote, "I am the shepherd who brings well-being and abundant prosperity. My rule is just, so that the strong might not oppress the weak, and that even the orphan and the widow might be treated with justice." This imagery and language were well known to the community that actually wrote the 23rd Psalm.
Cool.
It portrays God as a good shepherd, feeding and leading his flock. Thus, without its shepherd, the sheep would die by a predator of starvation. So it's very much about being, comforted and looked after by God. The first verse of Psalm 23 is thought to be written by King David as part of the Hebrew scripture, and he was known to be a shepherd himself in his youth. Taken together, Psalms 22, 23, and 24 are seen by some as shepherd psalms, where the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep as the suffering servant and king. So now, let me tell you what the 23rd Psalm means to the Jews, to the Christians, and to the Muslims.
Okay.
For the Jews, the 23rd Psalm is traditionally sung during the third Shabbat meal and before the first and second in some Jewish communities, as far as the Shabbat meals. It's also commonly recited in the presence of a deceased person, such as by those keeping watch over a body before burial and before the funeral itself. That's how it's typically used in Judaism. For Christians, the image of God as a shepherd evokes connections not only with David, but with Jesus, who is often described as, the good shepherd, and Christians as sheep, LOL. The phrase, the valley of the shadow of death, is often taken as an allusion to the eternal life which is given by Jesus. Orthodox Christians typically include this psalm in the prayers of preparation for receiving the Eucharist. In the Roman Catholic Church, the psalm is sung as a responsorial, which is where it's sort of sung in rounds, I guess, in masses for the dead. And in the Church of England's Book of Common Prayer, it is appointed to be read on the evening of the 4th day of the month. I have no idea why. As far as Islam goes, Muslims see the Psalms as a holy book in and of itself because it is mentioned several times in the Quran, which is Islam's sacred text, as we all know, I would think. So if you read the Surah 23 in the Quran, they're not called verses, they're called surahs. And so it's Surah 23, Muslims claim, reveals at least 25 clear echoes from allusions to Psalm 23. And so they hold just the book in general as dear because it is mentioned in their holy book. That's it. That's how Psalm 23 is viewed and used in the Abrahamic religions. And there you go.
You don't know why they do it on the 4th of the month?
The 4th of the month, they sayeth. No, I have no idea.
They did recite the 23rd Psalm at my grandmother's funeral, but they did it in song.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what yeah.
But they took liberties with it to make it work for the song that they sang.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't necessarily like the changes that they made.
They didn't do some Mariah Carey? Like,
No, it wasn't quite that bad. But I don't know. I know that it's already bastardized. It's been over 2,000 years, so.
Oh, of course. But
it's been edited for sure.
When I think of it in song, my head goes to Coolio.
Sing for me, the Coolio.
Don't you guys remember Gangsta's Paradise?
As I walk through my valley in the shadow of death, I take a look at my left and realize
there's nothing left. Yeah.
Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Amish Paradise is good too.
Weirdo.
Oh, fuck. All right. Benjamin, best moments.
Butter.
Yeah.
Best moments, worst moments.
On my knees, saving points for the afterlife.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, what were you talking about?
Best and worst moments from you, please.
Best and worst moments. I mean, I love when the smoke monster comes up on Echo. Like,
yeah,
that's just rad. Like the shot of him standing there as like the camera zooms in, it's fucking dope. I'd say my least favorite was probably when he comes in and starts trying to con his brother.
In the church.
In the church.
Scene, in the vac, you mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like he didn't think that he was conning his brother. He really
I know, that's
felt
why
like,
I hate it.
That's why you hate it.
Yeah, he really felt like he was doing a good thing.
Yeah.
That's. But once again, like I said, this whole episode is about the gray area, I feel.
Yeah. I think a lot of gangsters end up having to tell themselves that what they're doing is good, despite the fact that they're still manipulating people and saying, I'm doing you a favor. Because I think it's the only way that they can fucking live with themselves, is they have to lie
I would
to
imagine
themselves.
that's true. Yeah, I think you're right.
Unless you're a sociopath, which a lot of people probably aren't, that do awful things.
Right.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, my best moments, actually I had two, is Echo saving his brother, Yemi, from joining the gang by killing the old guy. And also when Echo finally finds his brother's body in the plane, that was a good moment for Echo, closure.
Yeah.
And the worst moment was when Yemi just flailing his arms and getting killed by the military.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous.
Like, really? Are you serious?
It's funny.
It gave me a good chance to riff on an old song, though, so I kind of appreciate Yemi for doing that.
One of your best moments was my worst moment, Derek, when Echo opens his brother's shirt. Finding his brother, I get it. That was your point. But that moment where he rips it open and he sees the cross was actually my worst moment. My best moment is when Echo slit two throats at once. I mean, like, come on. That's fucking
That's
skill.
pretty badass.
Right there.
That was pretty badass. Yep. That was
pretty
amazing.
Yeah. Christy, your best and
my
worst.
My best moment and my worst moment are the same, which I think this is the first time I've done that. And that is the little boy Echo shooting the old man and saving his brother. It was both the best and worst.
Yeah, I agree. I almost wish I could I think I might change mine to that, because I think, you nailed it.
Christy, why don't you give us your character rankings, too?
So my top three are Echo, Yemi, and Claire in that order.
Me too!
I really only have Charlie in the bottom, because
Charlie already got in the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
he deserves to be a bottom this week.
He was.
I'm going to fuck Echo, and there was nobody who I really felt like deserved to be killed.
Me too.
And, I mean, I guess the gangsters, but that's so, I don't know. That's too generic. There's just nobody who is really that bad as far as the real important characters go.
Yeah, my best characters, Echo, Yemi, Claire. I forgive Echo. He was put into a horrible situation and he made the best with what he had, I guess. Yemi ultimately just kind of doing the right thing for everyone, and Claire doing the right thing for Aaron, basically. Worst character, Charlie, which kills me because I fucking love Charlie, but he lied to both Claire and Echo. I had Michael as
himself.
Well, yeah. I had Michael as my second because he's lying about the computer, and he should know better than to keep things from the group. That never goes well. I had a blank spot in my third. I didn't have anyone there. I had no one to kill. I am gonna fuck Echo again. I'm hoping this time maybe he can spin me.
Wow. That last detail.
You're gonna have to wipe Charlie off him first.
Oh God, Derek, what's up with your character rankings?
My best was Mr. Echo, just because he did with the situation he was dealt. Yemi is second, and the smoke monster was my third. I thought that was just pretty cool.
Wow,
getting to see
the
smoke monster in its glory. My worst character was Charlie, just for being a real pain in the ass.
Oh, Charlie's taking a hit this week.
Oh, he will be. And then the second worst is Claire. I just think she overreacted, personally.
Do you? Okay.
Well, he hadn't really used. I mean, it was still in the statue.
She doesn't know that. And with a drug addict, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
you have a point.
And all that.
You have a point. I don't entirely disagree with that assessment.
I'm going to fuck Kate, and I'm going to kill Charlie.
Oof. All right. Well, You're ready to kill him over it.
What are your rankings, and then where do we sit after this week?
Mr. Echo is my favorite. My second favorite is the Smoke Monster as well. My third favorite was Yemi. And as far as worst, the gang leader that kidnapped him in the first place, that's by far the worst.
Oh, that's a good point. That set the whole thing off.
Yeah. And then I've got Claire in second worst. And I agree. She just bugs me. She just really bugs me. I don't know what it is about her. And then Charlie, I've gotten third worst. Fucking kill. I didn't choose anybody. This episode just kind of sat in the middle for me. It didn't get me,
Didn't get you hot. Didn't get you mad.
No.
Yeah.
It was just like a 45-minute penis softener.
Oh my God. So as far as the rankings go overall, Echo must just be can anyone catch him this year? How could anyone catch him?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. But yeah, he's continues to surge. He's at 111 points.
Holy shit! Of season 1, Kate's final score, she won. She had 169 points, which I can't forget because it was 69. Yeah. But that was the whole season. We're only on episode 10. Wow, that's wild.
And behind him, his closest competitor is Kate with 42 points. And then Dr. Bronze still holding up third with 36 points. I don't think the bottom has moved a whole lot. I think Randy Douchebag Nations, Mr. Cooper, and then tied for... Oh, I guess we got Charlie actually edged into... is tied with Mr. Cooper now for second worst place. Yeah. And then we have Anna Lucia and Susan, I guess, sharing third place.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, we finally have two of the more main characters in the bottom, but good God, Echo is just like running away with it.
Everyone loves Echo.
I do.
Echo.
Christy, what are your final impressions of this episode?
I loved this episode. I am grateful that I was assigned this episode to present. I love everything about Echo, learning about his backstory. It was great.
I felt the same way. I absolutely fucking love this episode. I love the themes of, people are both good and bad. We all do good things. We all do bad things. Life is complicated.
The things that we do.
Right. Life is complicated. And it also kind of brings in this idea of what is worth forgiving? Where do you draw the line? What details will you consider when you are deciding whether or not to forgive someone, whether you're human or, in this case, they talk a lot about God. But yeah, I loved it. Give me more Mr. Echo, always. Ben?
I actually, tell you the truth, I didn't really care for this episode so much. I've enjoyed it a lot more. I've enjoyed a lot more talking about it than I did watching it. The only reason for that is if you when I take the episode as a whole, all it really has been is Echo and Charlie tromping through the forest together. It didn't further the plot in a whole lot of other ways. It's really just them walking through the woods, and almost I felt like the entire show was the flashback. Like all of this sort of other than, Charlie putting drugs into his little cubby hole, other than that, nothing really happened in this episode.
Smoke monster.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Other than that, yeah.
Less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So I didn't really enjoy the episode when I watched it, but since we've been actually talking about it today, I've actually kind of liked it more than I did before. So,
yeah. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Derek, how'd you feel about this episode, and what kind of questions do you have about the smoke monster? I'm assuming.
Well, I liked this episode, and what a coincidence that the crash plane on the island is something that Mr. Echo was involved in.
Seems like a coincidence?
Yeah.
We'll explore that later.
Don't mistake coincidence for fate.
He did say that. He did.
More like Providence.
Yeah. And this, at first this episode had me torn about Mr. Echo because after he was in the gang, he kind of, took the part, but then he redeemed himself at the end by, when he was given that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we got a better view of the smoke monster, and, Claire kind of pissed me off. And then Charlie, even though he hasn't used, he's building a stash.
He is.
But my biggest question was, why did the smoke monster not attack Mr. Echo, which was exactly what happened the first time Locke encountered it in season 1?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how come the pilot bit the dust, but these two
instantly,
were
pretty
spared?
much.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I guess we're assuming at this point now that not only Mr. Echo, but Locke was also shown something by the smoke monster, we can assume. So why are they
looked
special?
into the eye of this island and saw something beautiful.
Yes,
Right.
I think
right.
was close to the quote.
Yeah.
So,
Locke.
even in conjunction with that, I'm not trying to give you questions, Derek, but they feel related in that why would the smoke monster spare these two people, and why are the others kidnapping certain ones, right? So it seems like people are being put into categories by something or someone.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right. So next week, guys, we are going to be doing episode 11. It's called The Hunting Party. It's my episode, my first one of presenting for Jack. I'm excited about that. For you guys, it's going to be a week. For us, it's going to be 5 minutes. I'll have my second Bloody Mary.
Oh,
we'll
boy.
see you then. Bye.
It's going to be a
Get ready
riot.
for derailment. Bye.
Lost in My 40s is a Space Bear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacy J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trim. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Space Bear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at SpaceBear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.